For some reason all you can hear is I didn't want to make this video, but somebody in the comment told me like, hey bro, can you do a comparison video between the Max 5C and the W820NB? So your wish is my command. Okay, so let's get the ball rolling. And the first thing I would say that in terms of pricing, right, the Edifier W820NB is slightly more expensive than the Max 5C, because even on sale, the thing I could get is as low as $50. Even though, yes, you can tell me like, hey Nash, I saw on the Lazada, right, it's only like $30 or like $40 only. Well, you need to know that that one that you see is the 820NB only. The one that I got here is the 820NB Plus, because the difference between that two is simply that this has a newer Bluetooth chip, the 5.3, compared to the 5.2 chip of the 820NB, the normal one. And also the fact that it has LDAC compared to just AAC, which makes your connectivity will be better and sound slightly better. So hence, yeah, you can't really tell me that, hey, there's a cheaper one. But unfortunately, because this is the only two I have, so I have to directly compare it. For the hardware wise, I will have to give the Max 5C the edge, because the whole build is used plastic. Over here is plastic. Everywhere you see is plastic, except for this little trim of metal, which is most likely aluminum, but it's a very thin compared to the 820NB Plus, where the entire build is fully plastic. Even the hinge area here, where you can see the cable is a bit exposed. And so because of that, a little bit more metal, it feels slightly more sturdy compared to my 820, where it is little flimsy. And next, the battery life. From the internet, from the online, I have scoured around. It is, the Max 5C has a little bit more battery by 100. I believe it's 600 to, sorry. So next, the battery life between the Max 5C and the 820NB Plus. This battery has a slightly more battery by 200 milliamp hours, because it claims that it can go up to 90 hours, and it has 600 milliamp hours of batteries, compared to only like 400 from the source that I can find on the internet. And it also reflects on the usage I have used, because on paper they says about close to ×2 the duration, because the Max 5C says it can takes up to 90 hours without ANC on, without all the special stuff, just purely music, compared to just 49 hours on the 820NB Plus. In my own test, I tried on the train, commute from back and forth about 2 hours each day. So at the end of the day, I would take about 10 hours. I would say that the battery does reflect somewhat accurate, because the battery of the Edifier goes down pretty fast by the end of the week. Like the next day, the next week, like the second day or so, I have to start to recharge. Roughly about 20-ish battery life, compared to my Ugreen, where after 2 weeks, the battery managed to hold up to like roughly about 30%, 40%. Yeah, so it's just slightly better, but it also depends because I've been switching around the modes between spatial, the ANC on, ANC off to try around, so it might be the mileage might vary. For ANC wise, both have the same thing where both claim that it can go reduce up to 43 decibels of noise reduction, which I can't really know how to do the test, but based on my commute on riding the bus and the train, I can say that you can like cover most of the sound, such as the engine rumbling and also the train moving lah, when you barely can hear the announcement and start and so on. But generally I will just turn it off because it can be a bit annoying for me in my ear because of you can hear the suction if you're not listening to music, but it is not as intense in the Max 5C compared to the 820 MB. So if you don't really care about your ANC, yeah, that's the only quick rundown. Next, both have the volume button, the play, and also the on and off. As you can see here, that the buttons here, there is 4. Only just the layout is a bit different compared to the Max 5C, because this is the M is the mode to switch your your normal mode, your ANC mode, and also your ambient sound, while the power on and the play button is right in the middle of the two volume button. So if you want to play music, you have to press and hold either one to go to the next track or the previous track. Same goes for the Ugreen, where the ANC button is literally says here ANC button. The power button has a little reach here, and the two power button is slightly above the power button, and also does the same thing where you need press and hold to go to the next song. However, in terms of the quick access, the mode here for the 820 MB, it only has by default only the noise cancelling mode and also the ambient sound. The noise cancellation off is not there unless you set it in the Edifier app, which I will further explain. For the Ugreen, the ANC button can cycle all 3 modes, and if you press and hold, it can turn on to the game mode. However, if you already activate the high definition mode, which is the LDAC mode, the game mode does not work at all. So take note of that. Okay, so other than that, for the neck comfort, wearing the 820 NB is very comfortable because I could put it on my neck all day and I would sometimes forget that I'm actually wearing a headphone because of the clamp is relatively loose, probably thanks to all plastic build, and it is not a foldable headphone. That is the one thing. And because of the Max 5C is a foldable headphone, as you can see, when you put around the neck, it is very tight, close to my neck here. And for someone who like me, who has a very big neck, it can be very uncomfortable because it is like pressing on the neck. So most of the time when I reach to my location, I will just either fold it, dump it in my bag, or I will just end up holding like this before I found a table or something. I just put there. So that is one thing you can think of. And because of it is a metal build, in the early stages, like maybe the first few days, you can feel the clamp is a little tight, very tight, that it is pressing on the ears. But after a week or so, it will be fine. It will loosen over time. Compared to the 820 NB, for my massive head, this thing has no issue. It doesn't even pressure my ears that much. And also because of the clamp is relatively loose, I don't really experience any sort of pressure on the ears. So if I'm outdoors walking around under the sun, it should be fine. Can be a little sweaty, but will not be as bad as the Max 5C because the climb is a bit harder. So when you are in the under the sun, the climb can be a little bit uncomfortable. So sometimes you need to like release the pressure a bit. So that is one thing you need to take note of that. Next, the Play Store. If you realize, if you search online or if you search on the Play Store itself, you will realize that the Edifier app is available on the Play Store compared to the Ugreen app. It's not in the Play Store. I'm not sure about the iOS because I didn't check. But if you need to download the software, you need to go to the Ugreen website itself. I can link it there or just a picture there to download the software, which can be a little annoying if you didn't notice that there is an app for it. And both in the app itself, right, the equalizer is extremely limited, and it doesn't even have any like equalizer. You can even change the equalizer if you want to, other than those preset where you can do the classic, the bass, the treble, the jazz, and all that good stuff, you know. Yeah, that's just the limiting factor about both of their apps. And for the, as I said earlier about the ANC thing, this thing, the mode you can add on to the no cancellation, so you can just turn it off instead of ambient sound, which can be annoying about ambient sound because because of the mic will keep on picking up a lot of sound, including wind. So yeah, usually I will just add the no cancellation and just add it in and just press it, and it will just immediately off the ANC. That is the only way to off the ANC other than using the app itself and physically press the app to turn off. While the Ugreen Max 5C has an additional way, it can have additional function for the ANC button because they able to switch around the toggle. So I can choose whether to want to have the noise cancellation by like tapping or by pressing and hold or just double tapping it. Same for if you want to do the spatial sound, instead of going to the app, you can toggle it on the ANC button on the app itself. So you can just like double click to switch the toggle on and off. But you need to notice, you will slowly notice that every time you double tap and single tap, you double tap the spatial sound and the normal mode, they will always switch to between the two equalizer, which is the classic and the bass mode, which quite annoying because sometimes you prefer the like rock mode or the jazz mode, but it will always switch between that two if you're using whether spatial sound or the standard mode. So that is that. Next will be the game mode. For the Edifier, it also have a game mode, but usually I don't really turn it on, but you can turn it on anytime, whether it is on high fidelity mode or the standard mode. While the Max 5C here, it can't switch on unless you turn it off the high definition mode. And for some reason, when you want to switch between the normal mode and the high def mode, this for the 820NB will tend to disconnect from your phone first, and then you need to repair it. While the Max 5C, it will just it will switch quite seamlessly, because if you from high def mode to non high def mode, it will just switch immediately. But when you turn on, it will ask you to pair again, even though it will not disconnect per se, but it can be annoying because when this thing disconnects, it will, for some reason, it always turns on the ANC mode. That is the one thing I found it annoying. And also for some reason this headphone, I don't know, is it the headphone, the app, or is it my phone, that every time after a few days or a few weeks, or I don't know when, it just randomly will happen, the app itself will my headphone will reset to the basic mode instead of the high definition mode. And also how for some reason it will just reset to back to default. If it means that your ANC off will also disappear and need to do it again, which is damn annoying. It happens at random time. I don't know why. The only good thing about the Edifier headphone right here, that once you turn on the mode, right, you can see that there is a notification bar here, and it has a quick toggle between the different equalizers and also the game mode, the whether you want to turn on, turn off, or ambience mode of the ANC, which is quite convenient, to be honest, compared to the Edifier, where you every time have to go into the app every time if you want to do any sort of adjustment, especially the equalizer. As I said, that it will keep on switching between the classic mode and in spatial sound, and bass mode when it is toggling back to the normal mode. So that is all for the hardware side and the software side. I'm going to do a ranking system between the two headphones, but since this thing has a spatial sound, I'm going to rank it with the spatial sound and without the spatial sound. And because on default this spatial sound is on classic and the normal mode is on bass, so I leave it as that too, compared to my 820NB Plus, where it is on default is on classic. So it will be quite different test, even though this thing can switch to classic, but as I said, this is based on the default settings on these two. So that's how I'm going to do the ranking. And first place, and each ranking, the 1, 2, 3 each has I give a point system, where first place will get 3 points, second place got 1 point, and third place have 0. So I will have 10 different songs to compare with, and the winner is the one that I prefer more. So that's based on my ranking, and the music can be completely is random songs that I've chosen on my playlist. And the first song that I've chosen is called "The Blues in the Closet" by ZutoMayo. And the song for this, it is mainly playing a piano sound with a constant beat and vocals, which is quite a moderate speed. And in between you can hear there is a flute, there is a bass guitar in between the beats, which is for some reason favors the 820NB on classic mode, because as it is in classic mode, the sound is very balanced, so none of the sound is overpowering. Like the piano is, you can hear the vocals, you can hear the bass, you can hear between the bass guitar and also the beat in between. While second place, it goes to the spatial mode, the 5C spatial mode, because the bass guitar, for some reason, for this song alone, right, the bass guitar and the beat, right, for some reason all you can hear is it's too overpowering that the spatial sound can't really differentiate between the bass guitar and the beat. But and because of that, the normal mode of this with its bass, it is the worst sounding ever, because like I said earlier, for the spatial sound, the bass is too overpowering, and it's not the constant the tung 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 tung. It's the guitar, when every time he trying to strum, it will tung 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 tung. It will be boom 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 boom. That's all I can hear. It's all like just it's like the kind of Call of Duty lobby, you can hear it's kind of sound. So yeah, because of that, I had to rank the normal mode in bass setting to be the lowest. Second place goes to the spatial sound, and first place goes to the 820NB. So that is the current point system. And move on, we go to the next song, which is called Thanatophobia by Tatsuya Kitani, where you can see that as is in the actual kanji, while I have to pronounce it in English, which I don't know how to pronounce. Thanatophobia. Yeah, the song has there's a bass guitar and with a decent pace of vocals. There is a lot of various instruments will be played in between this song, such as like a guitar, like a trumpet, like a drum. And because of that, for some reason, the bass guitar in this song is way tame compared to the ZutoMayo, the previous song. And because of that, the Max 5C spatial sound is actually makes it quite nice, because it's like it can emphasize all the various sounding compared to the classic of the 820, because the 820 sounds very flat, I would say. For some reason, it's like you don't feel the bass guitar, you don't really hear the guitar. It's just like, alright, it's okay. It's like that you're just missing that something. Maybe if I can able to tweak the settings or something, will be better. And because of that, I have to also give the normal mode of the bass settings on this, because you can hear the rambling like, oh, it's quite good. Oh yeah, in my note I have stated that the spatial sound, right, if you listen to the 2 minute 50-second mark, you can hear that part there's a constant rumbling, right? The spatial sound makes the rumbling, right, until tingles my ear, you know, like, oh, it's so good. Yeah, so because of that, spatial sound took the lead, and that is the current points for the second song. Third song is called the Daybreak Frontline cover by MaboDofu. And this song has just mainly acoustic and fast vocals. So the bass mode doesn't really help much in this song. However, because the song is just mainly acoustic, right, the sound is okay. I mean, the sound is okay because the 820NB classic mode has a slight emphasis on the acoustic guitar, but it's the same feeling where I just need that something, you know, like little oomph. And it doesn't help the fact that the 820NB is slightly softer sound compared to the Max 5C, where it is like just a click more, like a volume click more. So because of that, I give the Max 5C bass a lead, thanks to the fact that it gives like this subtle bass, because the guitarist will every time keep on hitting the strum while strumming the guitar, right? They can hear the tuk 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 tuk. Then in the ear, you can actually feel like, oh, that's actually like complementing the acoustic guitar and also the sound. While when I turn on the spatial mode, the acoustic strumming, when the acoustic guitar strumming, the one I told you earlier, where it start to tuk tuk tuk, it cranks it to the next level, where it was so strong that the rumbling, right, is actually affecting the song itself. So I have to give it a third place, while 820NB Classic in second place. So that is the updated score for the third round. The fourth song I have chosen, it is the Hazy Skyscraper by DEMONDICE. This song has like a mixture of sounds and beats with very slow vocals. Like the song is pretty low pace, and after hearing the song, I have given the Max 5C bass to have more clearer in hearing the background vocals, where if you listen to the song, you can actually hear there is like two singers singing it. It's like as if like the second is just an echo to the first person singing. Compared to the 820 MB, I give a second place because the beats is nice, it's very subtle, and it complements the vocals of the song. But because of the bass mode, it give the extra emphasis. It sounds slightly nicer to the 820 MB. However, I can't say the same for the spatial sound mode for the Max 5C, because the bass can be a bit too strong that you barely can hear the vocals. Like you can still hear, it's so loud. The bass is so loud that you can hear, but you barely can hear the sound of the singer vocal, which I don't know why, but yeah. And that's the updated score for the next song. After that, the fifth song I have chosen is called Chatter by Corner Price. This song has a constant rumbling with actually very fast vocal because it's a rap song. And in between the song, there is some violins and other type of sounds in the song, which is quite interesting because I have given the Max 5C bass mode the lead because you can hear the violin is so nice. It's like it emphasizes the violin sound more than a lot of the other modes. And for the 820 MB, it emphasizes more on the vocal because it's in classic mode. So it's a toss up between whether you want to hear the instrument more, or you want to have the vocals more or the instrument more. For me, I like the emphasis on the the instrument, because you can hear is in the background of the singer. So when it start to emphasize on it while it's still not overpowering the sound, will be like, oh, you can start to appreciate the people who playing the instrument. So because of that, I had to give the Max 5C bass mode first, followed by the 820 MB, and last will be the spatial sound again, because it like to emphasize on the on the bass that you can hear the constant rumbling on your ear lah, which can be annoying after a while, but it's actually quite nice. Unfortunately, the other two has the things that I actually prefer. So that's why I give the Max 5C spatial mode third place. And that's the updated ranking. And it seems like the bass food is getting away from everyone. So let's continue on to the next song. And next song I have chosen is a Malay song, which is called Germiris Mengundang by Slam. It's an old classic song that has acoustic guitar and slow vocals. And there is also like additional guitars playing in the song, so there is completely no bass for it to emphasize. But because of that, I given the spaces sound more for this part, because I can hear the vocal echo, right? Like the echo as if like I am in a stage, you know, like I'm sitting in here and the guy is in front of me, and then you can hear the echo like hitting back your ears, like super satisfying, even though there's no bass to be played, which maybe that is the whole purpose of this mode, the spatial sound, because it feels like you're in a concert. Unfortunately, it's like this kind of song, it works, while the previously all the other songs, it doesn't work that well. And because of that, I have to give the spatial sound first. But this is a toss-up between the second place, because the 820NB Classic and also the Max 5C, the normal mode for bass, is almost the same, because it has emphasized on the vocals, and you can hear the clear distinction between the two acoustic guitar. But because there's nothing separating both of them, I can't really like give a third place, so I give both the 820 and the Max 5C bass mode to be equal, and I give them 1 point each. So that's the updated score. Alright, so let's move on to the song number 7, which is called Kokoronashi cover song by Shania Yan or Yan. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but yeah, for this person singing, it's mainly just a piano playing with slow beat and vocal. And for this song particularly, I have given the 820NB classic mode ahead of the two Max 5Cs, because you can hear the vocal of the echo, right, more pronounced. It's as if like I am in an auditorium, you know, where you can hear the echo all the way to the back and forward to you, which is quite damn. It's actually the fact that the song is quite sad and emotional, right? It's actually actually hit extra hard on my kokoro, you know. Yeah, and because of that, I had to give the 820NB first place, even though I said earlier about the previous song where it sounds like in the stage, this thing also sounds like I'm in a auditorium, but for some reason, the every time you hit the piano, this thing picks up like random artifact sounds, you know, like just randomly you can hear that kind of thing. It's like I don't know what's that supposed to be, but yeah, because of that I had to nerf it down a bit and give 820NB plus the lead. And of course, last I will give the Max 5C bass mode to be last place, because the song completely has no bass at all, so you can't emphasize on anything other than the vocals. But for some reason, the 820NB I can hear the echo but the bass mode I can't really hear the echo as pronounced. Yeah, so because of that, that is the updated ranking. That will be song number 7, and now song number 8 is called Tougen Renka by GARNiDELiA. And this song is mostly like a EDM song with fast vocals, and there's this instrument, I'm not sure what's the name, I believe it's called Irhu sound in between, where you got a kind of sound. I don't know what's the instrument that they use, but I believe that is the sound that it makes, which is quite interesting. It's a unique type of song, and because of that I have to give the 5C bass mode the first place, because for some reason the song this thing has extra oomph. It's probably because of they emphasize on the bass, and EDM mainly has emphasis on the bass mode itself. And while 820NB I gave it a second place, because as usual, because it's a balanced sound, it feels kind of flat, because the song has a lot of tung 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 tung. This thing is just completely like just make it muted. Like you can still hear it, it's just like eh. While the bass mode of that is like very nice. And then last, the special mode. Because of it gives too much bass, the sound just become very bad. It's almost the same issue as I faced earlier in the very first song, which is the ZutoMayo song, that the bass can be too overwhelming that you can hear, all you can hear is a that kind of song. So I'm like, yeah, then I had to give it third place. So that's song number 8 ranking. So next will be song number 9, and we move to the English sounding, where it's called Meant to Be by Jared Benjamin. This song has like a constant beats, constant like bass beat for the song, and it has relatively fast vocals. And after listening to it, even I had to give the 820NB third place because it's very balanced. It's not too bad. It doesn't feel as flat compared to the other songs. But because of the song has constant bass, I give the special mood first place because the rumbling, right, is very strong. I would say the same thing for the normal bass mode, but the special mode, right, I can literally hear my ears, right, it's like rumbling while I listening to the song. And it's for some reason it's not overpowering for this song, so you can hear you can literally feel like the headphone itself is start to while the bass mode also do the same thing, but it's not as extra, not as extra strong as the spatial sound. So I had to give the spatial sound more than the bass. So that's the ranking right now for song number 9. Alright, so the last but not least is the song called Trainwreck by James Otter. This song has emphasis on piano, and the vocals is relatively speed, and it's quite emotional song, and there is some drum beats in between. For this song is a very strange one because after I switching all 3 songs, right, like all 3 headphone, all the 3 modes, I can't really differentiate which one I prefer more. I tried the spatial sound, I off the spatial sound, I switched to the 820NB, and then I switch it back to the Max 5C. I can't really differentiate because it 3 all like it's okay lah. It's alright. I don't know. I don't have any. I don't feel one or another is better. So because of that, I just give everyone 3 points. And because of that, yeah. So because of that, I give all 3 points for being first place because I feel it's equal. And at the end of the day, so that's the updated. At the end of the day, after the 10 songs, I have to give the Max 5C bass mode to be the winner for the entire challenge. And as you can see, third place goes to the Max 5C spatial sound. It's just mainly because of the, like I said, it is nice, it have emphasis, it sounds like in a stage, but when it comes with more than one beat, right, like the bass, like the electronic bass and the electric guitar bass, it will start to clash and it sounds very bad. It will start to, I don't know, it just sounds like shit. And then I will just have to switch it off, and I like, ugh, disgusting. And 820NB is okay lah, like it's decent sounding, it feels comfortable to wear, and the cushion is actually more softer than the Max 5C, so maybe that's the reason why it's slightly more expensive. But because it's not foldable and the sound is left to be desired, I would had to lean on the Max 5C, as even you can see the result that most of the song I have chosen based on the 10 songs that I have randomly chosen favors the Max 5C, which is on the bass mode. And the good thing is if the bass is a bit too strong, I can always go to the app and then switch to the classic mode so that the bass will greatly be muted, which greatly increase my enjoyment of the song. It's just a bit annoying that every time if I switch between the spatial sound and non-spatial sound, I have to like keep on going back to the bass mode, which is very annoying. Especially like for example that very first song I say, the ZutoMayo, the Blues in the Closet, where the bass is so strong. The bass guitar is so strong for that song that both of the spatial mode and the bass mode doesn't help at all. And if I switch to the classic, it works well, but sometimes you just keep on forgetting that the app exists, so it's a bit annoying that you can do it. And so that's the entire ranking between the two headphones. Personally, I like to bring this around if I'm expecting this to be around my neck all days, because it's not foldable. But if let's say I'm just doing my daily commute to do my work, go to my school or whatever, I would lean towards the Max 5C, because first of all, it's cheaper. It has two different modes, which is in between this headphone. Is a hit and miss, but because of the long battery life, right, and it's foldable, you can easily keep in your bag, it's actually pretty worth it lah. So even though it's slightly more comfortable, I would greatly recommend you all to go for the Max 5C, unless your songs mainly doesn't consist of a lot of bass. Because if the song have a lot of bass sound, then left a lot to be desired. It's alright for just a commute, but if you really want the extra oomph, right, this Max 5C actually has slightly better better sounding. But if you intend to like play game, actually you don't need the game mode at all lah. Just leave it as a high definition mode, which is good enough for me to play. And other than that, yeah, that's all from me. I have looked online. There is a headphone that I'm very interested, which is called the Basus H1 Pro. So yeah, maybe look forward to that. And that's all for me. This is Nash, and I catch you all next time. See ya.